Hi guys, very welcome to my part 2 of my Maya Connects tutorial series. In this tutorial we'll talk about dynamic animation, add secondary motion using dynamics in Maya. This is a request of one of my students. First I will show you the result and then we'll build this setup from scratch. Okay, those are the steps that we go through together, and let's begin. This is the mockup rig you can download from Mixamo. As you see here, we have a walk cycle, and first thing to do is to bring the character to the T-pose and create necessary joints. I already created them, but I will show you how to do this. First, we have to go to the frame -10. Then we go to outliner and select the first joint. Type here, select -HR, this guy here, and press enter, highlight and press enter. As you see here, all my joints now are selected, and I already did this. I just deleted first, maybe. Okay, now we have all joints selected. You just go to channel box and just set all rotation to 0. And just grab these guys and set key. Now we have the transformation from T-pose to our walk cycle. And now you have to also check if the hip, you see I have to translate X on a wrong place now. If you look in the front view, it's a bit translated to the side. We just put 0 there and key it again. Okay, now you have to create these two joints. How to create them is very simple. You just go to the rigging tab, select the skeleton, create joint, press the X button for grid snap and create two joints. Press enter. Now you can select both joints and make them a bit bigger. I set 3 for that. I just hide these guys here. Okay, now you just grab this one. Just rename it to all right. I know what these guys are. Wait a second. Okay, this is the left breast and right breast. Just make one. I just take this name here. Just copy here. It will be right breast, and here we have end joint. Okay, now I can hide them. I can hide this too. Okay, great. Then you just take one joint, press W, and now just snap with pressed V to this joint, and now you can just rotate this joint to the place. I don't know, maybe this way. You can also, if you select the end joint, you can grab the translate X and just adjust the length of the joint here. Okay, now we have to freeze transformation and orient this joint, because now our local rotation axis is a bit off. I just select this one, go to modify freeze transformations, and also I go to skeleton and orient joint with default settings here. Orient joint. Okay, now we have the left one. Now you can mirror this skeleton, mirror joint, just set mirror across Y, Z, search for left and replace with right, and just press the mirror. And you see we have two joints here. Okay, the next step is to just take these two joints and parent them underneath this one. I already did it, and therefore I just delete these joints here, because we don't need them anymore, because I have them here. And as you see here, we have these two joints here, and I already painted the influence here. I will show you how to do this, because this is the step 2 here. Okay, that's very simple. You just select your two additional joints, shift select your geometry, you go to skin, add influence, option box, reset tool. I just use geometry off. I just do it with 8 here, lock weights, because we don't want to mess with our existing skin cluster here, and you just say add. After this, I already did this, you just can go here, select your geometry, go to skin and paint skin weights tool, and as you see here, you have to first, because the joints are locked, as you see here, first you have to unlock them and set the operation to add, and now you can just set your value to 0, 1 and paint this influence here, just like normally weight painting here. And after you did it and you are happy with this, you can just go select the geometry and go to skin and just mirror skin weights with these settings, mirror across YZ, positive to negative, because we have painted on this side, this is positive X, and also 1 to 1, closest point on surface, and just press mirror. And now you have this. Okay, great. Let's move on to the next step. Okay, the next step is create and rebuild curves. Okay, let's do it. I will hide my my mesh here. Oops, sorry. And now let's create curves. You go to create, create CV curve tool, option box, and we just set it to linear here, because normally you have cubic, linear, and just press V for vert snap and just press enter to end the process. You can rename the curve to CRV underscore left breast, and now we can mirror this one to this side, to the right side, just duplicate using Control D, group this guy using Control G. Now we will set our scale of the group to -1, and now we can just press Shift P to unparent, and now I like to just take these two curves, first rename to the right wrist. Okay, and now just take these two curves, go to modify, and just freeze transformations, because we don't want to have any values here. Okay, now the next step, we have to make this curve dynamic. But before we do this, we have to rebuild them, because as you see here, we have only 2 CVs on these curves. And to rebuild the curves, we just select these 2 curves. We go to the modeling tab, curves, rebuild curve. Oh, sorry. Option box, just reset setting and rebuild. Now you see we have now 6 vertices or control vertices. Okay, press F8 again to go to the object mode, and now we have to select these 2 curves, change to FX tab, to nHair. We go here to make selected curve dynamic option box. Normally you have this this way, default setting, just attach curve to selected surface off and just make curve dynamic. Just press enter. As you see here, if we play now, something going on with our curves, but we need to adjust the follicle attributes and also hair system attributes. Now we are in step 5. Let's do it. I go back, always rewind to your start frame, and now first thing to do, go to the outliner. You see Maya has created hair system and also the follicles here. First thing to do, select first follicle, go to the attribute editor, and just say, you see here point lock both ends, we just do base, the second also base, and now if you play animation, you see our dynamics are working here, but you see it seems like a giant figure here, or giant person here, because normally Maya use every grid unit like a meter, and you see our girl is about 200 meters height, and we have to first set our nucleus. If you select the nucleus and go to the space scale, set it to 001, and as you see here, if I play my simulation, we have better result here. Okay, great. I think one of my curves are not rebuilded. You see here, this curve has, but this one, let's see, it's also good. I don't know why it's doing this way. Maybe it's, there, very good. Okay, just display issue. Okay, now we have to set up our spline key and using this dynamic curve. But before we do this, I show you one attribute you have to adjust on a hair system. and this attribute is attraction scale here. Starts curve attract. This is stiffness of your, we can say, breast. We just put it to 2. You can adjust it to your as you like it. And as you see here, now we have a stiffer setup here. Okay, now let's create, I forgot to put the creation of key, a spline key handle. Maybe I will put it here. Number 6 will be a create spline key handles. Using dynamic curves. Okay, that will be 7. Save. Okay, this is very simple. You have to just play a bit that we just, because at the frame start frame, our dynamic curve and our original curve are in the same place. And this is very difficult to grab the dynamic one here. But if you just play a bit forward, now we can select the curves here. One issue I have here, because I see here our skeleton is moving, but our dynamic curves just stay in place. This is very simple to fix. We have to parent this group with these 2 follicles to our joint here. First we select our joint, Control select our follicle group here, and we go to rigging, constraint, parent constraint, reset setting, and add. As you see here, if I play it now, the curves are moving with the skeleton. Okay, perfect. Now let's set up our spline keys. We go to a skeleton, create key spline handle, option box. We don't need auto parent curve, we don't need auto create curve because we have already one. And now we have to select our root joint, end joint, followed by dynamic curve. Let's do this. Okay, first thing to do is, you see, we'll have to select this guy, and the curve. I think the curve, first curve is here. Okay, let's do it. Activate the key handle, spline key handle tool. Now just click on a root joint, control click on the end joint, and control click on the curve here. Let's repeat it for the right side. Okay, right, control click, control click. As you see now, we have this setup. Okay, and now last thing to do is to create cycle animation. Is also very, very simple to do. We just select first joint here, write down, select minus hierarchy. We select all joints, open the graph editor. just activate infinity here, and as you see here, I select this all curves here, go to the curves and post infinity cycle, and you see we have a cycle now. And if we play the animation here, you see we have our dynamic joints here. And if you unhide your mesh, sorry, and I hide everything except of the polygons here, and we just set to 200 frames here, and you see now we have our dynamic setup. Okay guys, that's it for this tutorial. If you have a question, just ask me. If you like this tutorial, leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.